Hey, boys and girls, Mrs. Freeland here. I'm going to continue to read our book about animals at night. And the strategy that we're going to work on today is um, we're going to think about, does this make sense with what I'm reading? So when I run into a word I'm not sure of, I'm really going to ask myself, does this make sense with what I'm reading? A lot of kids will read through and they'll read really fast, and what they say doesn't even make sense. So, as a reader, we have to do a couple things. Our eyes are reading the words, our brain is putting it together to make sure it makes sense. And then, if it doesn't make sense, our eyes and our brain have to work together and go back and fix it. And so, boys and girls, you want to be one of those readers that goes back and fixes your mistakes to make sure that makes sense. So let's make sure that our eyes and our brains are working together and just our eyes aren't going really fast. Here we go. So the next page in this is, I see a picture of a mouse and an owl and a mouse. And I think the mouse is in trouble. Here we go. A family of hairy mice creep out of their nest in a stone wall. They scurry about looking for something to eat. I'm thinking, a family of hairy mice? Is that right? Oh, if we look closely at that word, that's not hairy, is it? That doesn't make sense. Because they scurry about means they run all over. Let me sound it out. Hungry. Oh, it's a family of hungry mice. Now I'm going to re-say it quickly. A family of hungry mice creep out of their nest or stone wall. They scurry about looking for something to eat. So, boys and girls, that didn't make sense to me. Hairy mice, I know mice have fur, but that was talking about how they're running fast. The mice don't go out looking for food in the daytime. It's safer for them to go out and about at night. Safer? Is safer a word? Does it make sense? I'm going to go back and use my strategy and fix it. It's blank for them to go out about at nighttime. Now I'm going to sound it out. Safer. Oh, it's safer. And that makes sense because if they're at night, going out at night, it's in the dark. So, boys and girls, do you see how I used my strategy, sounded it out? I realized it didn't make sense. I went back and fixed it. Okay, I'm going to do that again on this page. Mice are not always safe at night. The owl's big red eyes can see even small mice in the dark. The owl flies quickly and can swoop down quickly. Ooh, I have a couple mistakes there. Let's go back and fix it. Does he have big red eyes? Are his eyes red? No, let me go back and look at that word. He has big round eyes. Oh, that's true. They are big round eyes. He has big round eyes that can see even small mice in the dark. The owl flies. Does he fly? Because it said quickly here. Quietly. Oh, he flies quietly and can swoop down quickly. So he's so quiet that the mouse doesn't hear him. So, boys and girls, that's what you're going to do. You're going to go through as you read. Do you see how it took me a little bit longer? Because my brain was checking what words my mouth said, and it made sure that what I said made sense. So, boys and girls, you have to sometimes read a little bit more slowly, to make sure that you're listening and your brain is thinking about what you're saying and not just running through the words without thinking. And then your brain's going to say, did that make sense? And then if it didn't, you're going to go back to the part that didn't make sense, double check the word, sound it out, and then try and get it right so it makes sense, and then read it through smoothly. So that's the steps we want you to do today, boys and girls, is to be a better reader, to be stronger by asking yourself, does this make sense? All right, you can do it, boys and girls. Have a great day reading.